Hi, I'm Jeremy, and this is my 1976 Ford F-250. It's been a good truck. I've had it since I was in high school, about 12 years. That time I've driven it a ton. It's gone through a lot of changes. Changed the engine, changed the transmission, rebuilt just tons of it. But the one thing I have not done yet is fixed rust. It has some very nasty rust here on the floor that continues. You can kind of see under there. And then on the passenger side, there's also rust that I tried fixing, but I used way too thin a metal, so I blew through. And so I'm gonna I got some thicker metal, and I'm gonna go through and show how to fix that using just some sheet metal that I have laying around. So let's get started. So the first thing you need to do is start getting things unscrewed from the floor. Need to get this wiring harness out of the way that runs to the seat belt for the buzzer. And this trim panel needs to come out of the way. I've got some of the screws out, but these other three are pretty well stuck. So for that, it's time to drill. Alright, so the battery for my cordless drill is apparently garbage. So I've got a pretty nice air drill. Little overkill for this job, but we'll see if we can't get these screws undone. Well, the screw wasn't wanting to cut through, so I just kind of grabbed onto it and ripped it out. And the screw actually broke in the trim piece. That trim piece is not in the best of shape, so I won't be reusing it. You can see corroded all the way along it. It's got some cracks, so I'm just going to throw it away. Then I'll get the rest of this carpet out of the way and this rubber. And once my air compressor catches up, it looks like we'll then be hitting it with the vacuum. And then once that's done, we get to start playing cut metal. Yay! Now, we've got it pretty much all vacuumed out. With all the carpet out of the way, you can see just how extensive the damage is. This structural piece is pretty much completely gone. The damage comes clear back here by the seat. So we'll cut out the sheet metal back to here. We'll repair this structural piece. And cut out this sheet metal up here. We'll have to take out the high beam switch to get all the way up there. And see what we find once we get some sheet metal out of place. As far as for actually cutting out the metal, my favorite tool is the die grinder. We'll get some air hooked onto it. Let's see if we can't get this camera propped somewhere where I can focus on working so that you can see what I'm doing. Alright, so what we're going to do is just kind of go just a little bit past where the rust is and try and cut in as straight of lines as possible. Here we go. So we're just going to try and cut right along where the rust is in as straight of a line as possible. That's not working real great, so we're going to try doing it with some tin snips. I got out some tin snips. I'm just cutting back past the rust. This sheet metal cut's pretty easy. If I had a body saw, I'm sure that would probably be the best tool. But with all this rust, it's really cutting pretty easy. Just a matter of making sure it's curling away from you as you go. And then be careful because that edge will be very sharp. As you're going, you'll find more of this rust and crap buildup. It's important to just keep cleaning up, getting all that rust out of the way. It just makes it easier to work. Alright, so now we've got most of the rusted metal out. We've just got this one piece up in here left to take care of. And then we'll be ready to start cutting patch. Now, with all the rusty metal removed, you want to make sure to clean up all the surface rust where you're going to be welding to. Also, you want to remove the paint at least a half an inch around all of where you're splicing sheet metal up to. And there, we are all prepped, ready to start cutting pieces of metal to go in place. So I hope this has been a helpful tutorial on how to prep for removing your rusted floor pan pieces. Next time I will be showing you how to weld them in. So stay tuned for part 2.